Welcome to Paul's Take. Let me tell you a little story. Do you know about the Matrix? I'm sure you do. We're living in a virtual reality. And sometimes there's glitches. Sometimes they're called the Mandela Affect. So what is Mandela Affect? Or should I tell you my story first? I'll tell you my story first. It happened today. This is a true story, believe it or not. I was driving to work, minding my own business, and I come to a red light, and I was actually making a left. I was about ready to make a left, so I'm in a left turn lane, and there's two left turn lanes, and I'm on the right left turn lane. To my left was this really dope looking light blue Corvette. It's like a 2019 version, not the newest one that just came out, but the previous generation. It was light blue. It is, well, anyway, so it was right next to me, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow, that's a nice vet. And I look over to see the driver, see who's driving a cool vet, because usually it's an old man, you know. And sure enough, it was this white-haired, not a really old guy, but he had white hair, had a little white beard going on, kind of like me, but a little older, a little grayer. And so I was like, oh. So I said, maybe he wants to race because I'm in my Scion TC, right? It's like a perfect matchup. A 400, 500 horsepower Corvette versus my 192 horsepower Scion TC. So the light turns green. Remember, I'm on the outside. So I gun it. And I take off and I smoke him. I smoke him to death. Not because my car was faster, because I was a better driver. Not even that. The truth of the fact was, I took off like a bat out of San Diego, and he didn't even bother. He was an old man, and he drove his car like an old man. So he was just going slow, taking his time, mind his own business, probably saying, what a kook in that cool-looking Scion TC, as I smoke him. So now here is the atmosphere. So now I'm on this boulevard, right? It's pretty much a straight shot. There's a little bit of gradual hills, but it's pretty much a straight shot. Some light turns, but not very much. It's like the most direct route from where I'm going to where I'm at to where I'm going. There's two lanes, right, going in my direction. Then there's this big grassy center divider, and there's two lanes coming the opposite direction. Okay, you got it? So now I'm, not that I was really speeding, because I would never do that, but I accelerated fast, and I was going. So I smoked him. I could see the Corvette in my dust. He's way behind me. He's like way in a distance at this point. So as I'm driving, I forget about the guy. Now I'm all alone because he was going slow, and the other guys, the other traffic was going slow too, and I'm trying to get to where I'm going. So I'm on this highway by myself while this Corvette's way behind me, like so far in a distance, I don't even see him anymore. Now, I'm not on this road very long, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm doing so well, right? I'm doing so well by blowing. I'm the whole highway to myself that I'm actually catching up to the next group of cars ahead of me. Like this group from the light was all in one pack, but I smoked them. So now I'm approaching the next group of cars, and also it's a red light too. That might have probably played a part of it. So I'm going down this big hill, and I see there's a red light up ahead. And so I'm looking, I'm driving, going towards all the cars that are waiting at the light. And right in front of me, interesting coincidence, was another Corvette. I was like, wow, interesting. There's another Corvette. How cool is that? Maybe he wants to race. Maybe this guy's got some cojones. So I look at this. So as I'm approaching the Corvette, I'm like from a far hill coming down, not a steep hill, but a far downgrade hill approaching it. And I'm like, oh, it's a Corvette. Oh, it's another blue Corvette. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Another blue Corvette. And then I noticed on the back of the Corvette, and I noticed it on the back of the other Corvette, there was this weird symbol or it's this Corvette, maybe the model number, and then it had like a certain decal, if you want to call it decal, or plaque or something that was on there that I never seen before. I mean, it was like a certain version of the Corvette, but it was unique. It stood out to me because I was like, what's that? It almost looked like the Mexican flag or something, but it wasn't a flag. It was just like the colors in a little strip. So I had the same thing. And I was like, what? I'm like, same color, same year, same model. And I'm like, so then I pull alongside of it. It's the same guy. The same guy. I'm not saying similar looking. It was the same car, the same vet that I had smoked 4 minutes ago, where nobody had passed me along this highway. And all of a sudden, that same car is ahead of me. How is that possible? How? It was like, so I came with, I think 4 different possibilities, logical possibilities. Now you're thinking, oh, he passed you up, you didn't see him. No. First of all, I was going a little above the speed limit. He was not. He was a mile behind me, and nobody passed me up. We weren't going that far. There was nobody on the highway on the stretch but me, and nobody passed me up. You would see a Corvette smoke past me, because really, it was like he would have to have passed me so fast within, like, say, 3 miles that he's out of my sight, and he doesn't come back into my sight until I get over this slow crest, and then it's like way down the hill, probably a good half a mile of view, and there he was. So it was impossible. There was no other way around. It was direct. There's no side streets he could have took. There's no alternate way that he could have just smoked past me somehow. There was not. It was like a country road, nothing. So he somehow got ahead of me. So the Matrix, right, is a glitch in the Matrix, number one. That's the first possibility. If you know the Matrix, I'm sure you do, but just for one person that hasn't seen the Matrix, has no idea what we're talking about. It's about a movie where, this guy realizes that the whole reality is a computer simulation, and you're basically in a computer program. You're not living in the real reality. You're actually in the movie. Everybody is basically in these pods, and they're hooked up to these wires, and they're living like a virtual reality. It's not real. It's in their head. It's like a program. You're hooked up to a computer in like a simulation. So you're living your life in a simulation. It's not really your reality. But sometimes there's glitches because it's not real. So sometimes there might be a problem with the computer system, the programming, something, and there's a glitch, So sometimes there's glitches in what appears to be reality, which is really just a simulation, which this could have been a simulation. I guess Mandela Effect basically is the same thing, where, let's see here, Mandela Effect. It's been a while since I've been looking that up. Mandela Effect. Oh yeah, so the Mandela Effect is where you remember something clear as day. I guess one of the examples was in Star Wars, right? In Star Wars, it says, Darth Vader says to Luke Skywalker, "Luke, I am your father." And then Luke Skywalker like, no, don't say it's not true. My father's really cool. Okay, something like that. But the phrase was, Luke, I am your father. But it turned out he never said that in the movie. But everybody, including me, remembers him saying, Luke, I am your father. So, what do you remember? He said it, right? But he didn't. If you watch the movie now, he says something different. I forget what he says, though. I don't know. Something like, Luke, I'm your uncle's nephew's neighbor. So, I mean, you'd remember that, right? But anyhow, something like that. So the explanation of the Mandela Effect, I don't think they're saying, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've been doing some Mandela reading, but I don't think that they're saying it's like a matrix. I think they're saying it's like parallel universes. Somehow our universe kind of get mixed up with another universe. So then the realities, what you remember could be from a different dimension, a different universe, just somehow different dimension of reality. Yeah, because I guess there's theories that, that there's multiple realities are happening at the same time, different universes, different dimensions, I guess. Like, so I'm living in another dimension, another reality, doing almost the same thing or completely different. I could live my life a whole different way, or just maybe the slightest change, right, that I made that made my life just a little different. Maybe I'm wearing a red shirt. Maybe I got different glasses. Maybe I got the latex, something. No, I don't know, whatever, latex. Here's what I'm talking about, the eye surgery. Maybe I wasn't so stressed out and my hair's still brown. Maybe I just shaved it all off. Maybe my background is green instead of brown. So basically, in almost every decision you can make could potentially lead to a different dimension, different reality. So the Mandela effect is like maybe they cross somehow. So somehow your reality and another reality kind of twisted together. All right, what's the other option? Oh yeah, so I might have gotten abducted. What? Right. Think about it. I'm driving down the highway, minding my own business, smoking a Corvette, of course, because I'm my Scion TC and I'm a much better driver. So this alien says, wow, check out this dude's skills. This guy's got some mad driving skills. We need to probe him and find out, why is he so special? How is he so awesome? So when nobody's looking, because I'm on the highway by myself, the spaceship comes over and abducts me, sucks me right into the spaceship with the car and everything. Nobody's looking. And then they start poking needles in me and getting my DNA and impregnating some alien chicas. And then they put me back down. It happened really fast. Or maybe it was a time where they spent maybe like days, months, years in the spaceship. That's why I'm so gray at such a young age. And then they returned me. They had the ability of traveling through time. So they returned me almost to the exact point of where I was left, right? But they couldn't put me in the exact same moment because then I would see myself and be like, hey, that's me. So they put myself just a little behind where I was before, just by a minute or so. But the only thing is they didn't realize that I would recognize that I had passed that car before. I was like, hey. So I'm like, hey, I passed that car. There must be some time warp. I was abducted. I was gone for 93 years. Now I'm back. I have a whole family on this spaceship, on a mothership. Probably like got real estate on this other planet right now. Who knows? But maybe that's an option, potentially. And then there's the fourth one, the fourth option. What was the fourth option? I forgot already. Let's see here. What was the fourth? It was what was the alien the fourth? There was another one. We had Matrix. We had the Mandela Affect. We had aliens. I don't know. Maybe it was just 3. I'm sure there was a 4th. Oh well. There was 3. The 4th will come later. As soon as I push end stream, it will come to me. What was the 4th? The 4th. Anyhow, if you've been watching my show, if you haven't been watching my show, if you haven't, and you just ran across this, make sure you hit like, subscribe, so you can watch more of my wonderful shows. Could be about anything. Alrighty, so let's tell you about today. If you are a regular of my show, you know I've been shopping for a car. That's right. Think about getting me a Jeep Liberty. And it's funny, I'll tell you. This world's crazy as it is, right? It's so crazy. Like, I got Mandela effects going on. We got matrices going on. Getting abducted by aliens. In the same time, the universe is what you make of it. Like, you know that saying, like, if you think about something, they pop up everywhere. So I've been looking for Jeep Liberties, and of course they're everywhere. Look online, see for sale. They're everywhere. And then, but there was, okay, so I found a couple. First I saw a bunch of black ones. And I don't know, for some reason, I'm on the fence on black. So I find a white one, right? I found a black one with 60,000 miles, 2011, which is like really good. And then I find a 2011 with only 40,000 miles. Now this is white now. So I got a black one and a white one. I don't really love either color. Like, between black and white, it's hard to say. Black looks good, but it scratches up easy. White is kind of boring, but potentially be easily repaired. Like, if you scratch something, I think it's easier to cover up white. Get some white out and just fill in a scratch or something. I don't know. And but I really like gray, right? And the ones that I've seen, even though they have great miles, really low miles on it, great condition, decent price, I really wanted a silver one. A silver. So right during that period when I saw the Corvette for the second time, just beforehand, I look over and I see there's this one lot I always drive by and I always peek, like I see it on the side of the road, and there was a silver Liberty. I willed it, right? But then there's another thing I wanted. A sunroof. The vehicles I've seen didn't have sunroofs, and I really did want a sunroof. This one had a sunroof, and it was silver. And I was like, what? This wasn't here yesterday. It's here today. Perfect. It wasn't even, anyway, so I look in, and I guess I wasn't specific enough, because the only problem with this, price was right too. Price was only it was cheap. Maybe too cheap, and it was too cheap. There was a reason why it was too cheap, because it had leather interior too. Leather, silver, sunroof. 3 things that I love, right? But the miles were kind of high. So forget it. So gotta be more specific. Universe. Silver. 4-wheel drive. Leather seats. I don't know. Then again, I drove one today. It didn't have leather. It had cloth. And let me tell you, it was the most comfortable seats I ever sat on in my life. So I'll just say I'm open for the cloth on this. Sunroof, silver, low miles, 4-wheel drive. Put that out there. Alrighty. Sorry I haven't done a show in a while. The reason why, I'll tell you, because the shows don't do well. So I kind of got discouraged. Decided, well, let me go stick to what I do well at. Not even great, just decent. Those reviews. The reviews do okay. These midnight live shows, they don't do too well. So I still like to do them though. So I just got my setup, get the microphone, build a nice wall, a strong wall behind me. So I like to do more. So maybe I got to figure some new topics. Maybe conspiracies and aliens are not popular. Maybe not. So anyhow, that is all for tonight. Thanks for watching. Like I said, once again, make sure you hit like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up if you didn't like it. And I appreciate you watching to the end. Thanks for watching. Paul Steak.